I purchased your emotional card.
These life emotion cards.
Yes. So before I took your class, I got my hands on your card. So when I actually got a chance to be in your class, I was so excited because for the last few months, you were like my teacher on YouTube. You were already my teacher before we met. I would say my biggest lesson from you was being open to vulnerability, because we are in an industry where there's so many no's. When you come across someone that is speaking life into you, it's a beautiful thing. And I think that you do that with your students. And not only do you speak life into your students, but you are honest. And if there is improvement to be made, you are focused on helping them reach their highest potential, so that they can keep pushing forward in this industry. And it's a beautiful thing that you do. I think acting with impact is so impactful. It's needed in this world. I think you put a lot of positivity in the world. You put a lot of positivity within your students, and keep doing all that you do, Kimberly. Your voice is needed.
Your process is so heart-based, and I don't want to say it's gentle is the wrong word, but there is a nurturing and an ability that you have to give permission to your students to really acknowledge and appreciate their own uniqueness and what they bring to the table, and to allow that to thrive and blossom. But I think what sets you apart is really this, you love actors and you love what you do. And there is this warmth that you engage your students with that enables them, I think, to take chances and risks that they would not normally allow themselves to do.
My book, Acting with Impact. I don't know. Have you got a chance to read the book?
Oh my God! It was yes, ages ago when I took classes with you, and it's in my bookshelf with all of the acting teachers. Huggins, Hefferweiser, Kimberly Jentzen. Yes. No, you're a great teacher. So, and I always believe the right teacher comes along in the right moment. And you, oh my God, you were right there when I needed it. So I was always so grateful and cherish what you brought to my toolbox. So.
Rent had come out in '96, and I heard the music, and I was like, I want to do that. And I remember coming in here with Kimberly, and we had to set goals, and it was like, wait, and that was my goal. They'd come to LA, and my agent would send me for auditions, and I'd go in and sing. And I remember one time the casting director, I got up and I did my deal, and then she's like, so what, you can sing? And I was just like, oh my God. So I remember coming in here, telling Kimberly, I'm like, I need to work on this, and I want this so bad. So we worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. My agent had called me, and he's like, they're offering you the Broadway contract.
I was in Chicago when that happened.
It was in Chicago? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you came to Chicago, but okay, yeah. It was, obviously it was a dream come true for me. Coming in here and doing all this stuff, and like Kimberly always talks about being fearless, that's what it's about. Because it's those little nuggets that you're gonna get from having those experiences that are gonna stay with you for the rest of your life.
Your class is so good because I feel like even to this day, I need help getting to where I'm going quicker. You take each student as a person and go, okay, this is their process. I'm going to help them, which is going to make it better for that person, which wouldn't make it better for another student. So it kind of gives me building blocks to be a better actor in the future. My litmus test is, okay, are they going to call on the other actors' stuff? Not mistakes, or are you going to call it out for stuff I know? And you call out the stuff right away and the stuff also that I don't know. She's calling it out. She'll call it out on me. Gives me confidence.
Being able to really harness my emotions and not control them and let them go, and feel them throughout my whole body and not just in my head. That was really something that I learned in the Essence course, which is just amazing. Now I feel I'm so emotionally available, and I think that's from working with you. And also being able to control it so that it just doesn't go, because you still have to do the scene, right? So if you're extremely in pain and suffering and you're feeling this character, you still have to be able to do your dialogue and focus on your scene partner. So I feel like you've taught me how to do all of that, which is everything. That was amazing. Some of those nights when we were working. I mean, everyone I just felt like after I would see a scene, I was like, "Ooh, I need to bring it." And that was a really good feeling. I love when you give feedback after a scene because you do it in a way that's uplifting. So I just love the way you make us all better. I've even seen a situation where someone was really nervous. You were taken out of the scene, right? Because of their nerves. And you just were so gentle. It was just like you'd be like, let everyone land softly. I was fortunate enough to be in the master class, so everyone was pretty rocking their stuff.
I've studied with Kimberly about 6 years, and first of all, I just want to say thank you for creating a foundation and platform for all of us to come and really just explore our own voices. You've never put a limitation on me. You've always pushed me to find myself in extremes and do things beyond my comfort zone. I came to you, the first day I came to Kimberly's class, I sat in that chair, and then I purposely did not sign in, and I did not raise my hand to go whatsoever. So at the end of class, you were like, did everyone go up? And I was like, yep, everyone. And then she totally called me out for it. She was like, get your ass up and do it. I feel like a lot of us, we don't just come here to be actors, we come here to be artists. And you've really instilled a really great thought process in all of us to tell stories. My film was selected as one of the 3 finalists this year. HBO is now giving us a platform to stream on all of their streaming services, HBO Now, HBO Go. And it basically serves as a directorial debut. Actually, our lead actress also came to this class. A room like this prepares you for something like that. How you handle yourself, how you create stamina for yourself, how you speak to media, how do you speak to people. It all kind of roots back to here. And whatever little exercises, whatever we do, you teach us to connect with each other. We had a full day of media coverage for HBO. They had given us 11 pages of dialogue a day before or 2 days before. And everyone else is freaking out. And I was like, well, okay, 11 pages, let's do it. And that's because of this room. I was off book. I showed up, I was like, hey. And the execs was like, oh, okay, we also have a teleprompter. I was like, teleprompter? But long story short, people notice. These are the details in your work that people notice.
But I still feel like I had to learn so much. I feel like I learned so much doing season 2 of Now Show with you. That's when I had maybe my biggest breakthrough acting. I feel like we're constantly having little breakthroughs. Honestly, obviously, the most important things that I've learned was just working on character development with you that first season, and realizing that it takes a lot of hard work. It doesn't take just showing up and thinking you can be present. With Layla, I just realized how important working hard and putting in the preparation is, at least for me, and what we do. And I think I really learned that you have to really keep it up, keep up the lessons, keep up working on the character, because at the end of the day, not only do you need to keep up your chops, but people want to see a character that grows and changes. Working on that show has been a dream come true. And I think towards the end of the season, we started discovering who she was, and I think that's because of the emotional work that we were putting into her. By the time season 3 came around, that's why my character really has stuck around this long, and now I'm a series regular. Literally everything that I have really learned about acting has come from you. All the emotion work has come from you. The way that you would describe things just automatically started changing things and started really giving me a clearer vision of what the goals are with the work. And the biggest things that I think I use a lot, I mean, obviously the sacrifices, ever since we did that work, like that has been so life-changing to think about. And fire, I love that. Everything about your classes has affected me. Even from just watching you watch other people and how you like see things. It's just so inspiring and just automatically started making a difference. I've learned so much from you that has given me the strength to go off of that. Just thank you, for everything. I mean that. I'm getting like a little choked up just because we've come so far and so long together. And it has meant everything to me.
I was casting for many years, and I always saw your name out there as, being a wonderful acting teacher. And it was just so great to finally get like the name with the face and, get to meet you. And now we've been working together some. So I've guested in your class a few times. And I just feel you, from what I've witnessed, is that you're very nurturing and positive. But don't let them get away with anything, That's the best.
That's a big compliment. I really appreciate you saying that. People are beautiful. They're really beautiful. And I think that sometimes when you're in the field and you're moving so fast, we sometimes forget how beautiful the soul is.
Yeah,
and if you reach into that part, you bring out the best.
Well, and of course that's what you're trying to bring out in actors. And this is a good segue about that. You have written, you've come up with these life emotion cards, which, emotion. When did you do this, and how did you come up with this idea?
This is the thing. When you begin, if you want to break out of doing always sense memory or emotional recall, because if you have only that tool, that's one tool, it's a great tool, and our lives are very small compared to the world, and our imagination's very big. And sometimes access is denied. In my film Rain, the woman has to grieve over her mother. If she's stuck with only thinking of her mother, well, often we don't want to put ourselves in that kind of vulnerable situation mentally. I love the Stanislavski magic if, what if it was my mother? But what if that's really harsh? What if something's going on with her mother right now? I don't think anything was going on with Sheethel, but my female lead. But she can explore her imagination and use an imaginary circumstance, which is another tool. I'm just offering more tools and more ideas, so that when you walk on that set, you have an arsenal of ideas in front of you.
I have gotten so many things from training with you. Honestly, one of the biggest things I've gotten is inspiration. It is so inspiring to listen to you talk because you are so full of passion. Every single breakthrough that happens, it's like you kick down a door for another one. And I remember when you talked about how it's like climbing a mountain. And you reach that peak and then you go back down to the valley, but that means that you're growing and you hit that peak, and now it's just time to climb up the next one. And I think that's such a beautiful way to see it. Your class has inspired me to always want to grow and learn, always want to better myself and reach that next peak.